the firearms market just got completely rewritten. In 2026, manufacturers stopped playing it safe and started building guns that make everything from 5 years ago feel outdated. New platforms, new calibers, new ergonomics, guns that solve problems shooters have been complaining about for decades finally fixed. Some of these are from names you already trust. Some are from brands that came out of nowhere and immediately took over. And at least 3 of them are already backordered for months because demand hit before supply could catch up. This is the list every serious shooter needs to see right now. Smith & Wesson M and P15 Axe Series. Smith & Wesson took the M and P15 platform, already one of the most trusted AR-15 variants in the civilian and law enforcement market, and completely rebuilt the furniture, handguard geometry, and muzzle system for the Axe series. The result is a rifle that handles tighter, balances better, and presents a more aggressive profile than anything the M and P15 line has produced before. Most people don't realize how much the updated handguard changes the shooting experience until they run it alongside the standard model, and then they immediately understand why this series is already dominating pre-order numbers in 2026. But this next one pulls from a completely different era of American rifle design. Harrington and Richardson H&R M14. The M14 platform has never fully left the conversation, and H&R's interpretation in 2026 is the reason why. This is a semi-automatic rifle built around the legendary M14 action. Updated with modern manufacturing tolerances and material choices that bring the platform into genuine competition with contemporary designs rather than just nostalgic appeal. What makes this surprising is the accuracy, because the M14 action, when built correctly, produces a shooting experience that modern polymer frame rifles simply cannot replicate. Henry SPD Hush. Henry has been building America's most loved lever-action rifles for decades, and the SPD Hush is the product that proves they're not interested in standing still. This is a subsonic-optimized, suppressor-ready lever-action rifle designed from the ground up for hearing-safe shooting without the platform compromise that normally comes with threading a traditional lever gun. Henry engineered around that problem specifically, and the result is the quietest, smoothest lever-action shooting experience available to American shooters in 2026. And here's the crazy part. The next one came from a budget brand and shocked everyone. Palmetto State Armory SABER 10K1. PSA built their reputation on making serious firearms accessible to shooters who couldn't justify premium pricing. And the SABER 10K1 is the product that signals they're done being considered a budget option. This is a precision-oriented rifle platform with fit, finish, and mechanical accuracy that competes directly with manufacturers charging significantly more. And the 10K1 designation reflects an internal standard of quality control that PSA implemented specifically to separate this line from their standard production. Most people still assume PSA means affordable compromises, but this next one from the same family pushes the platform even further. SABER 11. If the SABER 10K1 surprised people, the SABER 11 genuinely shocked them. PSA took the already impressive SABER foundation and extended the handguard, refined the trigger group, and optimized the gas system for a wider range of ammunition, creating a rifle that transitions between precision target work and practical shooting applications without asking the shooter to make any compromises. This looks like an evolution. Now this is where a name most people haven't heard yet enters the room. Division 77. Most people have no idea this manufacturer exists yet, and that window is closing fast. A Division 77 entered the 2026 market with a rifle platform built around a proprietary bolt carrier group design that reduces felt recoil without adding suppressor weight or muzzle device complexity. The engineering approach is genuinely different from what the established AR market has been iterating on and the shooters who have put rounds through. Springfield Armory KUNA. Springfield Armory built the KUNA around a single design priority, making a carry pistol that a shooter with smaller hands can run as effectively as someone with a full firing grip. The grip geometry, the slide serration placement, and the trigger reach were all engineered specifically around hand size variability, and the result is a pistol that fits a wider range of shooters out of the box than almost anything in the carry market. Most manufacturers treat grip size as an afterthought solved by swappable backstraps. Springfield treated it as the primary engineering problem on the KUNA, and the difference in handling is immediately obvious. This is where most people get it wrong about what makes a carry pistol actually work. SA-35. The SA-35 is Springfield Armory's interpretation of one of the most beloved pistol platforms in firearms history, the Browning High Power. Rebuilt with modern manufacturing, updated sights, and a trigger that removes the one complaint every high-power shooter has voiced for 50 years. The single-action trigger on the SA-35 breaks at a weight and with a crispness that puts it in genuine competition with custom-tuned examples of the original platform, straight out of the box. For shooters who grew up hearing about the high power but never experienced one that felt this refined at a production price, the SA-35 is the pistol that closes that gap permanently. SIG Sauer, P320 Mode. The P320 is already one of the most modular, most adopted, and most refined striker-fired pistols on the market, and the MOD variant represents SIG's most significant update to the platform since the original design. The fire control unit geometry has been tightened. The grip module texture has been completely redesigned for positive purchase under stress, and the trigger has been updated with a new return spring configuration that changes the reset feel in a way that competitive shooters immediately notice during initial testing. This looks like a P320. It shoots better than any P320 that came before it. But this next one came from a completely different direction and nobody saw it coming. Cross Magnum Sawtooth. SIG's Cross platform already proved that a bolt-action precision rifle could be built around AR-style ergonomics without compromising either discipline. And the Magnum Sawtooth takes that foundation into Magnum caliber territory with a chassis system specifically engineered to manage the additional recoil impulse without adding punishing weight. The Sawtooth designation refers to the updated muzzle brake geometry that SIG developed specifically for this variant. Now this is where the most recognizable name in the industry drops something nobody expected. Glock Gen 6. Everyone knew Gen 6 was coming. Nobody predicted what it actually delivered. Glock's 6th generation updates the frame texture to a new aggressive surface pattern, integrates a fiber-reinforced polymer formulation that measurably reduces flex under high round count stress, and introduces a factory trigger with a pre-travel and reset geometry that addresses the most common performance complaint Glock shooters have voiced since Gen 3. This looks like a Glock. It feels like Glock finally listened to a decade of feedback from the people running their pistols hardest and built the version they've been asking for. And then there's the variant that changed what Glock means for carry shooters. Glock 19X. The 19X was already a market phenomenon combining the full-size G17 frame with the compact G19 slide into a crossover configuration that the military procurement process accidentally created for the civilian market. The 2026 refresh brings updated sight cuts for modern optic footprints, a revised magazine well geometry for faster reloads under stress, and a new coyote tan finish that has proven more durable in environmental testing than the original. This is where the concealed carry market gets its most significant update of the year. P365 Series. SIG's P365 rewrote the micro-compact carry market when it launched, and the 2026 series update rewrites it again. The new series variants introduce an integrated compensator option, factory-installed optic cut standardization across the entire frame lineup, and a grip module update that adds texture without increasing printing profile for concealed carriers. The magazine capacity remains the industry benchmark for the platform size, and the trigger refinement in the 2026 series addresses the one area where competitive micro-compacts had begun to close the gap. But this next one came out of Brazil and immediately made the American market pay attention. TAURUS TX9. TAURUS spent years rebuilding their quality control reputation, and the TX9 is the product that proves the rebuild is complete. This is a full-size 9mm striker-fired pistol with an ergonomic grip angle that most shooters describe as the most naturally pointing production pistol they've ever handled, combined with a trigger that competes directly with platforms costing twice as much. The TX9 solves the problem that budget-conscious shooters have faced for years, the choice between affordability and actual performance quality, by refusing to make that a choice at all. And here's the crazy part, the precision rifle world just got a platform nobody was ready for. SEEKINS Precision SIC. SEEKINS Precision has been building bench rest quality components for the AR platform for years, and the SIC represents their first complete factory rifle built to the tolerance standard their components are known for. The integrated chassis system the SIC designation refers to creates a receiver-to-stock interface with zero flex and zero shift under sustained fire, a problem that affects practical accuracy on even expensive production rifles, but rarely gets addressed at the factory level. For precision shooters who want a complete rifle that performs like a custom build without the custom build, wait time, and cost. Now this is where compact engineering does something genuinely surprising. KEL-TEC PR380. KEL-TEC has always built firearms that make people ask, why didn't anyone do this before? And the PR380 continues that tradition in the most compact end of the carry market. This is a .380A CP platform rebuilt around a new internal recoil management system that makes shooting it feel fundamentally different from every other micro-compact .380 on the market. Softer, more controllable, and more accurate on fast follow-up shots. RPC 9mm. The RPC 9mm enters 2026 as one of the most talked about new pistol caliber platforms in the compact carry segment. And the conversation is almost entirely about how much it does in how small a package. The frame-to-barrel ratio has been optimized for sight radius without increasing overall carry dimensions. The trigger has been tuned for a consistent pull weight that doesn't vary between the first shot and the last, and the grip texture aggressive enough for wet hand performance without destroying clothing during carry. This looks like a standard compact 9mm. STACCATO P4C4X. STACCATO built their reputation on 2011 platform pistols that perform like custom race guns straight from the factory. And the P4 and C4X variants represent the most refined expression of that philosophy the company has produced. The P4 optimizes the full-size frame for duty and competition use with updated grip texture and a compensated barrel option that keeps muzzle rise measurably flatter than any previous STACCATO production model. Most people don't realize how much the 2011 platform changes their shooting until they put 200 rounds through one. These two variants are the best possible introduction to that realization. Palmetto State Armory AXR Series. The AXR Series is PSA's statement that they intend to own the value-to-performance ratio at the serious rifle end of the market, not just the entry level. Built around a proprietary upper and lower receiver set with tighter manufacturing tolerances than their standard production line, the AXR series delivers mechanical accuracy and build quality consistency that puts it in genuine competition with mid-tier premium manufacturers. Now, this is where one of the most legendary rifle platforms in history gets its next chapter, FN SCAR Next Gen. The FN SCAR has been a benchmark for gas-operated rifle performance since its military adoption, and the Next Gen variant represents the most significant update to the platform since the original SCAR 16 and 17 designs. The updated reciprocating charging handle system has been redesigned to reduce the rotational torque effect that experienced SCAR shooters have managed for years. The handguard interface has been updated for M-LOCK compatibility without sacrificing the original's structural rigidity, and the stock folding mechanism has been revised for a more positive lock in both deployed and folded positions. Predator Lever Action. The lever action market has experienced a genuine renaissance in the last 3 years, and the Predator is the rifle that explains why. Built specifically for modern hunting applications in a lever-action configuration, it integrates a threaded barrel for suppressor use, a factory-drilled and tapped receiver for optic mounting, and a cycling geometry optimized for pointed Spitzer bullets that traditional tubular magazine lever guns cannot safely feed. ECHELON 4.0 FC. Springfield Armory's ECHELON platform launched with the most aggressive optic integration system in the production pistol market, and the 4.0 FC takes that foundation and adds a factory compensator integration that changes the shooting dynamics of the platform at a fundamental level. The FC designation represents a fully compensated configuration where the compensator is engineered as part of the slide rather than added as a muzzle device, which means the recoil management is built into the mass and gas distribution of the entire system rather than just redirecting gas at the crown. Now, this is where custom performance meets factory production in a way the market wasn't prepared for. ZEV Technologies, FDP. ZEV Technologies made their name building custom Glock components that competitive shooters trusted over everything else, and the FDP is their factory pistol built to the standard their custom work established. The frame geometry is proprietary, not a Glock clone, and it reflects years of data from competitive shooters about exactly where grip contact needs to be optimized for fast, accurate shooting under stress. The trigger is factory set at a pull weight and with a reset distance that most production pistols require aftermarket work to achieve. But this next one brings 1911 DNA into 2026 in a way that changes the conversation. KIMBER 2, K11. KIMBER has been building premium 1911 platform pistols for decades, and the two K11 designation signals a deliberate bridge between the classic 1911 single-stack geometry and the double-stack capacity that modern carry demands have made a practical necessity. The two K11 achieves this without the grip width penalty that most double-stack 1911 variants impose through a new grip frame geometry that maintains the natural 1911 pointing angle while housing a higher capacity magazine in a profile that remains genuinely manageable for shooters with average to smaller hands. And we close with a shotgun that just rewrote what patrol-ready means in 2026. Beretta, a 300 Ultima Patrol. We end the list with a platform that proves innovation doesn't require reinvention. The Beretta. A300 Ultima Patrol takes one of the most reliable gas-operated semi-automatic shotgun actions ever built and wraps it in a purpose-designed patrol configuration pistol. Grip stock, extended magazine tube, improved carrier geometry for faster loading under stress, and a factory finish optimized for hard-use environments. The A300 action has been proven in millions of rounds of field use across hunting and sport shooting applications, and the Ultima Patrol channels that proven reliability into a configuration built specifically for duty and defensive applications. This is not a hunting shotgun converted for patrol use. This was designed for patrol use from the first sketch, and it shows in every handling detail. 25 firearms, all of them new, all of them dominating in 2026 for reasons that go beyond marketing. The platforms that didn't make this list? They're already in development for next year. And based on what 2026 has already delivered, the next list is going to be even harder to narrow down to 25. You already know what to do. Subscribe to the channel. The 2026 list isn't finished yet.